Candlepin Stars and Strikes is brought to you by the Thompson family of dealerships in Nashua, New Hampshire, and by Tri-State Megabucks and the New Hampshire State Lottery, helping New Hampshire schools one ticket at a time. WNDS Sports presents New England's favorite bowling show. From Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Featuring the best bowlers from around the region. Candlepin Stars and Strikes. And now your hosts, Dick Lutz and Mike Moore.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome in to another edition of Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. From Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire, Dick Lutz with Mike Moore, and it's week 3 of our first ladder series of the new season, and we have seen some terrific bowling, in particular by Jackie Ray with 2 400 triples.
Yeah, but they weren't easy victories, at least not the last one. Rich Lottie nearly caught him at the end, but Jackie had enough to coast to the finish line, and now week 3, it is Mike Cuccia, who we've not seen in 3 years.
413 the first week, 415 the second week. What does he have in store for us this week? We'll find out. Let's meet our bowlers first. Winner of a couple of matches, beating Steve Vadney and Rich Lottie, our number 5 seed from Stowe, Massachusetts, Jackie Ray.
It had been almost 5 years since we'd seen him. Prior to this return, his average is 124. High single is 220. His best 3-game triple is 470. Does his bowling at Stowe's Fast Lane.
Jackie rolled a 649 in the roll-off to earn the number 5 seed. His opponent earned the number 2 seed by rolling a 668 in the roll-off. He's from Pembroke, Massachusetts. Let's welcome Mike Cuccia.
Mike's high single is 203. His average is 120. His best triple, 506. Bowls at Hanover Bowlodrome, Lucky Strike in Dorchester, and the Sunday Couples League at Park Place in Windham.
You get to watch some of the best Candlepin bowlers in the world right here on WNDS TV, Candlepin Stars and Strikes. We'll be back with this afternoon's match right after this. Woo-hoo. All right. We began our first ladder series of the season with 5 bowlers. You see right there, Jack Ray has dispatched Steve Vadney and Rich Lottie, and Mike Cuccia is next with Jeff Surrett waiting in the wings as our top seed, and we get ready for this afternoon's match with Jack Ray and Mike Cuccia from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire, on Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. And Jack Ray starts it off. Pretty good way to start. 413 2 weeks ago, beating Steve Vadney's 339. 415 last week, beating Rich Lottie's 408. And he starts off with a spare. 7 marks in a row, and 1 time last week, was it?
That may have been 2 weeks ago.
7
yeah.
marks in the
But
first
I think
string. And
5 last week. And that one's going to be a tough one to get another mark with. The 5-7-10 and no wood. You need to pull a rabbit out of your hat on this shot. No rabbits today.
Oh, 7 in a row in the first string against Rich Lottie last week.
It was last week.
Yeah.
Well, time does fly, doesn't it?
And 8 box for Jack.
Haven't seen this man for exactly 3 years. October 2001 for the last Candlepin Stars and Strikes appearance of Mike Cuccia of Pembroke, Massachusetts.
Off the head pin on his first shot. Last time on WNDS, he defeated Charlie Jutras 367 to 347. Then tied Gary Santora at 345, our double overtime roll off. They were tied at 19 after 2 boxes. Then after the next 2, he lost to Gary 30 to 26.
Remember that day?
I do.
I think the show went to 5 o'clock that afternoon.
It was a long day.
And a nice clean 10 for Mike Cuccia. Box number 1.
Mike's a mail processor supervisor for the U.S. Postal Service, working out of the Boston Post Office.
Yeah, there's the infamous spread eagle that we saw converted not long ago by Mr. Jackie Ray.
Ray did it, yeah. Mike's a former high school baseball coach at Weymouth Catholic, involved with other bowlers in fantasy baseball and football leagues, so he's a real enthusiast.
Well, this is a great time of the year for that, where you've got both baseball, now the playoffs, and of course the NFL season about a month old. So he's a happy and a very busy guy.
What day is the first airing of this taping?
As folks are watching this, Dick, it is the 10th of October.
Do you believe the Red Sox are still alive or not?
Well, we're taping this on September 14th, and yes, I do.
Jackie Ray with the first mark, second mark of the first string for Jackie. Jack's a sales manager for Marjam in Stoneham. He and his wife Kelly have 2 children. Jessica's 14 and Mitchell is 10. And he does plan on competing in the senior pro events this year. He's just become eligible.
Back in February, he hit the big 5-0.
Missed that one.
The microphone, of course, being up on the scorer's table, picks up the grunts, the groans, and the sighs of our bowlers. If you listen carefully, if you've got good loud speakers on your TV, you can probably hear some of that.
We'll get to some of the emails and letters that we've been saving from the end of last season that accumulated over the course of the summer months, and there are many. We'll try to get to as many as we possibly can.
You've got
I'm sure there won't be all
email
of them.
there,
A lot
man.
of email, a lot of letters here. Mike Cuccia missing the spare there as he tried to convert the split. Eleanor Barringer and Virginia Curlis from Everett, Massachusetts sent us an email we want to acknowledge. Thank you, ladies. Nice to hear from you. Kurt Levesque from Deerfield, New Hampshire writes, I just found out that neither of you saw Paul Berger's 500 triple in 1992. Neither did I. He was away. He would have taped it.
Somebody did send us a videotape of that, though, Dick, last year. So we do have it.
Some guy from Keene found it on tape, according to Kurt Levesque. Is that where we got it?
Don't recall who sent it to us. But that's one of the biggest things that we get letters about, is about the 500 triple from Paul Berger. So I hope somebody can do it on our show one of these days. And we can talk about that in the future. Hasn't happened, nor has there been a 200 game.
Here's one. Unfortunately, I'm not going to read the name because I'm just not too positive of the identity, but it's cute. It's a cutie, but I'm just kind of not going to risk the identity of the sender.
Okay.
About 2 weeks ago, this goes back to the spring. About 2 weeks ago, I saw your bowling tournament with Dave Hodge competing. I hear he's single and looking. Well, hey, so am I. I live in Springfield, Vermont, and would like it if I could get his email address to contact him. Thanks for the prop on TV. I'm sure it's helping Dave out with the dates. With a female signature, which I will not divulge.
Debbie Lutz.
No. Dave, if you're interested, I'll pass this on to you if you want to respond.
Don't throw that out.
No, I'll give it to you to hold safekeeping.
And I promise I will not get in contact with her.
Jackie slipped at the line that time.
That's the 1, the 9, and the 10. There's a piece of wood, appears to be frozen against the 1 pin, facing the 10.
Got a shot at it. There it is. The wood made it possible with a deflection off the wall. Third mark of the string for Jackie Ray. You see the wood coming off the wall and wiping out the 9 and the 10. Good look there at Mike Cuccia.
He's had some pretty tough shots here. A couple of splits so far. This one very makeable, the 3 and the 6.
Missed the head pin, missed the 3, takes the 6, unable to convert, remains without a mark through the first half of the first string. And that'll be a 10 box. An early 13-pin lead for Jack Ray, box to box. Jeff Surratt, the #1 seed, will face the winner of this match next week for the ladder championship and a berth in the Tournament of Champions. The wood rolls and rolls and rolls and finally stops up against the pin. Good effort by Mike.
Mike, even though he's only been on television 10 times, has a pretty good tournament resume. 2004 won the mixed doubles open and handicap event with Lynn Thompson here in New Hampshire.
Six boxes without a mark for Mike Cuccia, while Jack Ray has 3 marks through his first 6 boxes.
Saw Jack Ray back in May of 1999 prior to his last 2 weeks. He was the top seed in the Tournament of Champions, beaten though by Rich Clark 391 to 350. So of course Jackie would like to climb back into the Tournament of Champions and give it another go.
And that pin is wobbling. It looked like it was halfway over at one point and stayed up. It's a 9 fill for Jackie Ray. And another mark. His 4th mark of the first string. Donna Colby, Mike, writes, I watch you every week and I wanted to know if you call it the Brooklyn side when the ball goes to the left side of the head pin. When it goes to the right side, why don't we call it the Queen's side? I've been thinking about emailing you for a while and offering the suggestion. Is Jackie going to the Brooklyn side right there?
Well, certainly the term Brooklyn precedes Dick's in my involvement in bowling, so we're not going to go ahead and change that. It's called the Manhattan side, a Manhattan hit, not as common as a Brooklyn, but that's what the right side pocket hit is often called, or just a pocket hit, if you will. Queens, Staten Island, or pick another borough if you like, but Manhattan. Now, that's more a 10-pin term. I'm not sure I've heard Manhattan applied to the Candlepin world too much.
I'll take Manhattan, the Bronx, and Staten Island, too. Is that how it goes?
Yeah, right.
Huh?
Yeah, that's it.
Donna, thanks for the note. Jackie missed that spare. He had to settle for a 10 box. And now Mike Cuccia looks for his first mark of the first string. Michael, you could make this shot if you keep the ball in the alley. And he did.
Another cheap shot. I'm going to start keeping track how many cheap shots I'm going to take this year. It's not bad enough that you humiliated me.
I had fun doing it, too.
I know you did, but you're just a miserable winner. Do you realize that?
I'm much too humble to be miserable.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right through the half Worcester on the spare. That hurts, especially on a mark.
Yeah, and it puts him 30 pins down through 7 boxes. That would have been a big help for a better fill. A lot of familiar names tried to get into this particular ladder. Jackie Ray, of course, was the last qualifier, 5th place. Mark Strangio missed it by just 2 pins. He came in 6th place. Of course, the top 5 make the show. There's a 10 box on the 710 going down. Lou Alberghini Jr. missed it by 6 pins, so a lot of bowlers very close. Bart Medeiros, the great coach.
Right there, yeah.
At Pilgrim Lanes in Haverhill was 8th. Number 9, Brian Feast. Mark Gregory, another North Shore bowler, coming in at number 10. But of course, we can only take the top 5. And as Dick mentioned a couple of weeks ago, new rules have been instituted to help get new fresh faces on the show. Once you make a ladder, you must wait 2 more ladder series before trying to qualify again.
Jack will be open in the 9th frame. With an 8 box, he's at 116 through 9 with 4 marks.
Leaving the door wide open for Mike Cuccia, who's only been able to muster 1 spare, and at that, only a 2-pin fill. So he needs to put some smudges on the score sheet, as the expression goes, here in the 9th and 10th. Of course, you don't call it that anymore with computer scoring.
Got a note from Cindy Sandler we want to acknowledge. Cindy, thank you very much for writing, taking the time. We appreciate that. as I try to acknowledge as many emails and cards and letters as I possibly can. Here's Jackie with a shot. Nice shot by Jack Ray for the mark in the 10th frame. 5 marks in the string for Jack Ray. No bonus money. Couldn't put 3 together. We gave him a lot of bonus money last week. Watch it again. The wood was set up nicely for him. It kicked off the wall and into the 10-pin. On the mark. Threw it to the head pin and puts a 7 in the spare, and it's a 133. First string for Jack Ray.
Just a few pins under his average of the last couple of weeks, where he's had 413 and 415. And that comes into an average of about 138 or so.
Mike Cuccia with a 9-pin drop. The 5-pin is staring back at him defiantly. Plays the wood, missed the shot. Bill Chatney from Amesbury, Massachusetts writes, we were talking about long-lasting bowling leagues. We mentioned it again last week with some of the notes that we received. In 1947, after the war, a group of veterans organizations like the VFW, American Legion, and AMVETS from the Amesbury, Newburyport, Salisbury, Raleigh, and Georgetown area started a bowling league at the Lafayette Club in Amesbury. Tony Baldinelli ran the league. There's finally a break for Mike Cuccia.
In fact, it was nearly 2 strikes in a row, because a 5-pin could have gone on that last first ball from Cuccia.
Watch it one more time and see how it develops. He had the 7 and 8 still standing, but they got tripped out there at the very end. That 7-pin will go. Trust me, there it goes. Here's Cuccia on the strike, looking for 2 in a row. They continue to mix and fall.
Well, that's got to make him feel better here as he goes into the second string. He's just not had much luck this game, but he ends up with the strike and probably a spare. And a very...
He missed the spare. Doesn't hurt too badly. It was just filling in the strike, and it is a final of 108 for Mike Cuccia in the first string. 133 for Jack Ray. A 25-pin lead for Ray as we head to string number 2. We'll continue with that letter when we come back to Leda Lanes in Nashua on Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV.
Not a familiar face, but if you ever bowl at Fast Lanes in Stowe, this is the proprietor, Ross Wheeler. And Ross, you took the lanes over a couple of years ago, and your man Jackie Ray is out here today. Give us a little thumbnail on how he's doing.
Guy's the best in the business. Never seen a ball roll smoother down an alley other than Jack's. That's for sure. He's great. He's great.
You've taken bowling to the next level. You have found a way to bring younger people into the game. Exactly how do you do that at Fast Lanes?
We try to make it fun. That's what the sport should be all about. And coming down here watching a guy like Jack just goes to show you can have a great time at this, you know.
To the rock and bowl and lots of things that bring in the younger people.
That's it. God love them. They're the future.
Well, continued success with your enterprise, Fast Lanes in Stowe.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for your support.
Thank you, Ross Wheeler.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. And Mike Cuccia will start off the second string here at Leda Lanes. He trails Jackie Ray by 25 pins. Going to the middle string of our 3-string match. And it was 133 for Jackie Ray, 108 for Mike Cuccia. And we're ready to go with string number 2. Good pocket shot that time by Mike. Started reading a letter from Bill Chatney from Amesbury, Massachusetts. He talked about the league that began in 1947. Tony Baldinelli ran the league. And Nick Vovos was one of the original participants. And the league continued through the 50s, moved to Baldinelli's Bowling Center in the early 60s when Tony built the new center on Route 110. When Mike Leo and his dad bought the center, the league continued 8 years ago. His dad asked if he wanted to join his team 4 years ago. His oldest son joined the league, so it's generation after generation continuing on there. Will Chatney and Nick are still bowling at 81 years of age and maintaining averages in the high 90s. And it's a great league that continues on since 1947, and we wish them the best over in the Amesbury area.
Boy, that's a tough one, Dick. He had the wood right in front and went to the left. Totally missed it. Big opportunity squandered by Mike Cuccia, who found himself 25 pins in arrears going into this second game.
Speaking to one of our spectators today, Dick, talking to a fella who is in his 70s, said he, in the last year, bowled a 181 game.
At 70 years old, 70 plus. Jack Ray starts off with a strike, and you're going to get to see it again in very slow motion. There they go. They topple down. Jack looks for 2 in a row. Jack stumbled on the line again.
Did not cross the foot foul line, but came close, I think. And this is no fun.
There, he's had that earlier. He had it in the first string, the 5-7-10 with no wood. You need an awful lot of luck and a higher authority to make that shot.
As difficult as the spread eagle is that Jack converted a couple of weeks ago, this is one I'm not sure I've ever seen made.
And that'll be a 9 box for Jack. So Mike Cuccia picks up a couple of pins through the first couple of boxes of the middle string. Mike off the head pin with that shot.
Plenty of double wood there. The 1-2, 7, 8, 9, 5 pin in there as well. Still the 7, 8 remain.
Here's one for you, Michael. This gentleman writes, John Thompson from Stoughton, Massachusetts. I go back to the 30s for bowling. He used to set pins at a local bowling alley in Clinton, Indiana.
Oh, my. Well, it wasn't Candlepins, I can assure you that.
He enjoys Candlepin bowling. The TV's on Channel 18, which is where we are in a lot of the cable systems. Keep up the good work. Thank you, John Thompson from Stoughton, Massachusetts, for writing that nice note.
My father set pins in Detroit in the 30s as well. A lot of kids did that back then. Well, he's had some terrible play with the wood on the deck, Dick, especially the ones that look like they'd be easy.
And a 10 box for Mike. He's at 48 through 4. Jack Ray will step to lane 34. Ray Simino and Sean Howard have done a great job keeping Lita lanes spick and span. It looks terrific. The lanes are playing fast. The scores are high. The pins are flying. And everything seems to be in tip-top shape. If you haven't been to Lita Lanes, we'd encourage you to stop by. And there's always open bowling. Exit 7W if you're coming from the south on the Everett Turnpike in Nashua. Exit 8 from the north. Jack Ray almost made a great shot. And they're open every day. And I mean every day.
Holidays included. Good time to come bowling.
10 box for Jackie.
And I should mention, even though the leagues have been bowling for about a month or so, a lot of times there are a couple spots that you can just slide right in. Leagues always need a couple of people, so check it out if you've got some time. Lots of leagues, morning, afternoon, and evening, depending on your schedule. They'll run pretty much through April.
One of Jack's rare misses of the head pin on his first ball right there. Good second ball, cleans up the left side. A 23-pin lead for Jack Ray as we go to the break. We're coming right back to Lita Lanes in Nashua for Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. Mike Cuccia will start us off as we come back to Lita Lanes in Nashua. Dick Lutz with Mike Morin, our entire WNDS TV crew. Kevin LaFawn's our director. Rich Burke's on audio. Eric Angra is handling the replay machine. Kristen Dubie's watching the clock and timing it all. Keith Webb's our engineer. Patrick McDougall and Craig Amabello and Larry Haber, our camera crew here at Lita Lanes. They make it all possible for you to watch the finest Candlepin bowlers in the world each and every week on WNBS TV's Candlepin Stars and Strikes.
Our runner-up today gets $550 cash and the opportunity to play Jeff Surratt next week. Top seed. He finished third in the Tournament of Champions, and he's back hoping to assure himself a position in next spring's tournament, which will include the bowlers who win all 6 of our ladders this year.
Well, Mike puts 8 in the spare, and another spare opportunity for him as he tries to get back into it. 2 marks in a row for Mike Cuccia.
Jackie Ray bowled in the Tournament of Champions, speaking of that event, 5 years ago, 1999. He was the top seed at the time, but was defeated by Rich Clark, 391 to 350.
Did you mention Mike Cuccia's partnership with Bob Whitcomb in the doubles earlier?
I didn't get to that.
Okay.
Did not. He was the New Hampshire men's state doubles open and handicap champion with Bobby Whitcomb back in 2001. They almost hit a doubles record for New Hampshire. They had 1443, the record 1452.
And 8 box for Jack Ray. So Mike Cuccia tries to inch his way back into this thing. He trailed by 25 after 1. And he's cut that in just about half, depending on what Jack does in this box. Threw a pretty good first ball. Will that 10-pin go? It will not. But let's check out the wood here. You've got a couple of options here, Mike, with that wood set up on the right, although the wood is rolling off of the 10-pin and now it rolls off the deck.
So, Dick, what do? Do you cap the pin?
No, not at all. You go right at that left pin, the 8 pin, and hope that wood, like he's doing right there. Well, that's not what I had in mind, but he almost made the shot.
I mean, since you're 141 string at Pilgrim Lanes back in the winter, people are writing to you on advice on how to shoot spares.
I'm available for lessons.
Mike Cuccia is kind of sneaking in here.
13 pins now, the lead for Jack Ray, minus what Mike gets on this ball, which isn't much, just 2.
Another lost opportunity for Mike Cuccia, who's hanging around.
He had a 2-pin fill on a spare in the first string.
So that negates pretty much the impact of the spare.
So it's an 11-pin lead for Jack Ray right now. And that'll be an 8 box.
So he'll start again. Try to get some bonus money going. For 3 marks in a row, the bowlers receive $50. If it's 3 strikes in a row, they get whatever is in the running pool. And at this point, $550 for a triple strike from either of these 2 fine professional Candlepin bowlers.
All right, here's one, Michael, for you. I never heard of this one. Bob McGlue from Amesbury writes in, thanks for carrying Candlepin bowling and keeping on the tradition. From Jim Britt and Don Gillis. He used to watch them when he was home on leave or stationed at Grenier Pease or Westover during the 50s and 60s, as you watch this shot once again. And a nice looking spare for Mike Cuccia. Bob McGlue says his first job was setting up Boston pins at the YMCA in Newburyport. Boston pins were fatter than candles, and you had to clear the deadwood. I don't know that I ever heard of Boston pins.
No, I haven't either. I'm sure folks out there have. It almost sounds like duck pins, but no, apparently. Did he say similar to Candlepin shapes but fatter?
Fatter than candles? Yeah, I think so. That's what he's saying here. He also set up 2 lanes of candles at Plum Island Lanes Summers during his high school years in the 40s. But Boston pins, never heard that term.
Well, you know, I bet you the Florence Greenleaf book would have some reference to that. I don't have it with me today.
I do, but we'll have to dig it out. 9 box for Jackie. Good first ball.
Very nice extension on that shot. He got the ball right on the right-hand pocket side, leaving only the 4-pin. Really delivered that one nicely. Well, I was hoping the Florence Greenleaf book had a had an index. It does not.
Table of contents, perhaps?
Perhaps up in the front, yeah. I'll
There's
tell you
a
what,
good
if we
first
can't-
ball by Mike Cuccia.
If we can't get that answer for you today, we'll see what we can do for a future week here. Because you know what happens? If I start going through this book right now, I'm going to mess up on the computer keeping score.
There's a nice shot by Mike Cuccia, his second mark in a row.
Now he'd like to put a third one on there for $50 in bonus money and to really tighten things up with his opponent, Jack Ray.
On lane 33, Cuccia missed the head pin. Put 6 in the mark. 4 horsemen right side. The 1, 3, 6, and 10. No wood to help out. $50 shot right here for Mike Cuccia. He's at 128. $129 for Mike Cuccia in the second string. And Jack Ray is going to have to, well, he's working on a mark, so he will not need a mark necessarily in the last 2 boxes to take the lead into the third string, depending on what he puts in the fill here. Working on a spare, Jackie Ray. Good first ball, buried it in the pocket, and the 10-pin still stands.
Another very good delivery and release from Jackie Ray, putting the ball right where he wants, and he's going to have wood to deal with.
He was kind of rooting it off the lane,
He
I
was.
think. Yeah.
He was indeed.
And it kind of got stuck. So he has no choice but to play that wood and just hope he catches the right spin. There it is. 2 marks in a row for Jack Ray. Now he shoots for bonus money in the 10th frame. We have not yet given away any bonus money in this match. Last week, Jackie Ray had $250 in bonus money in the match and another $50 for having the high string in the match. That's a $300 payday for just bonus money. For the $50, will it go? No. $118, second string for Jackie Ray, and a 14-pin lead for Ray over Mike Cuccia, heading to the third string when we come back to Leda Lanes in Nashua for the conclusion of Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. Jack Ray will bowl first in the third string with a 14-pin lead over Mike Cuccia. Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. Jack missed the head pin with his first ball. He seemed to find a groove in the latter stages of the second string of finding the head pin, but he just lost it right there. Look at the pins fly around that 9-pin. In front and back all over the place, but couldn't take it down.
It's a 10 for Jack Ray, who's got 1 WCBC title to his credit. You can look for him on the Senior Pro Tour, now that he, at age 50, has qualified for that. A lot of great bowlers have joined that category and are now doing very well. Still getting together, bowling competitively within a little bit a higher age bracket. Charlie Jutras, Steve Vadney, who you saw a couple of weeks ago, is a 3-time or 4-time winner in that circuit. So plenty of room for our bowlers once they hit 50 to continue in competition.
Will it go? Will it
Look
go?
at this.
He almost made it. Almost made it. That would have been some shot. And watching the pin wobble will lead us right into this next note that I'm going to read, Mike. The 10 box for Jack. A couple of 10s. Richard Clough from Marblehead. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. C-L-O-U-G-H. I've written you before about my experiences when I was very young setting up pins in the Marblehead Y. Recently, you mentioned on one of your programs that they were made of wood, which indeed they were. However, after a few strings, the bottoms would get rounded and they wouldn't stand up straight. To flatten them out to use again, we had a hand-turning machine, similar to a lathe in appearance, but much smaller, with which we would shave the bottom of the pin flat. Needless to say, after doing this a few times, the pins varied in height, since the Y could not afford to buy new wooden pins on a regular basis. So when you got up to bowl, many times the 10 pins were of various heights.
Very funny.
Thought you might be interested in this little bit of trivia. Never miss the program. And we appreciate hearing from you, Rich Clough from Marblehead, Massachusetts. Thank you very much.
That's a great letter, Rich. And today, of course, the pins are just one-piece plastic. Injection molded, I think, would probably be the expression.
Here's a nice shot by Mike Cuccia.
And
no doubt about that one.
Of course, scoring has gone up much more since we've gone from wood to plastic pins.
Wish they had plastic when I was a kid.
Well, you can look at that, two ways. You worked harder to get a higher score, and then when the plastic came, your score went up automatically because you worked so hard earlier on.
I kind of like that artificial gratification.
Okay.
So Jack will be open through the first 3 boxes of the 3rd string, and we're going to have ourselves a horse race. This match is virtually even right now.
It takes some doing for Jack Ray to hit another 400. 2 weeks in a row, 413, 415. He's sitting at 251, meaning he needs a 149 string to hit 400 this week. And the way he's going, it'll be very difficult to do with 3 open frames right off the bat.
And a tough shot here in the 4th frame. 3, 5, 6, 10, and the 7 on the left. And he's open again. Open through the first 4, and the door is open for Mike Cuccia. And that will be a 9 box. So Mike Cuccia, working on a strike, can pull virtually even. Almost a spread eagle. 1 more ball to fill the strike. The 10-pin fell on the right side, breaking up the spread eagle. He'll put 8 in the strike.
So Mike Cuccia takes 2 steps forward and 1 back here as he tries to catch up with and pull ahead of Jack Ray.
And a 10 box there. He picks up another pin. 6 pins separate these 2 boulders, box to box. And a mark here would make it that much closer. A little bit too full, and the wood settles in, makes this shot possible. Mike surveys the situation, has to play the wood. The question is which wood and which side of the wood. A couple of options there. Mike is determining. Here he goes. Let's see what he does. He went to the right side and did not make the shot. So we're going to be under 10 pins separating these 2 boulders as we go to the break. And he went for the safety pin on the right, the 10 pin, a 9 box. And we go to the break with 6 pins separating these 2 boulders. 6 boxes remain. Come back for the finale when we return to Leda Lanes in Nashua for Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. All right, there's Jack Ray in the middle of your screen in the red shirt. Ready to bowl, lane 34, Leda Lanes, Nashua, New Hampshire. 6 boxes remaining, 6 pins separate these 2 fine bowlers. Ray with the lead and Ray with a good first ball. And Ray with a tough shot right here, the way that wood is angled. This is not an easy shot.
Yeah, if you'd like to, I'm sorry, Dick.
He's going to have to go to the outside of that 5 pin.
If you'd like to be a part of our studio audience here at Leda Lanes, we will be taping Tuesday, the 12th, just a couple days from now. That's if you're watching this on Sunday, the 10th. So please come see us, be a part of the group that enjoys the live bowling and get to meet the bowlers. They're very accessible, very nice people, sign autographs, talk to you.
Mike charges $5 for an autograph if you'd like to get his.
It used to be 10, but after you whoop me, it's down to 5. We'll get it back next year.
Jackie Ray right on the head pin, but look at what he has to show for it. Yuck.
Can I mention my weekly column in the Nashua
2, 4,
Telegraph?
5, 7 on the left, 6, 10 on the right. No.
Okay.
Oh, he almost made a great shot. Yes, Michael is a noted columnist for the Nashua Telegraph, as well as his stellar performance daily on WZID 95.7 FM.
Check your Tuesday
$10.
Nashua Telegraph in the lifestyle section for just dopey stuff that I write about.
Who do you pattern yourself after?
I don't say I pattern myself after anybody, but you might notice some similarities with Dave Barry, writing about random stuff, not brain surgery.
Dave Barry, of course, in the Boston Globe Sunday magazine every week.
So feel free to retire, Dave.
Make room for Mike Morin.
Yes, although I love my gig at the Telegraph, don't get me wrong.
There's a nice shot by Mike. I don't think he planned it that way, but he will take it. Thank you very much. And we are now even. If he gets a 5 on this ball, this match is even. He gets 5 plus 5, so he takes the lead.
Well, this will be the first time today he's had the lead.
Mike Cuccia goes into the lead with 4 boxes remaining. Now Jack Ray needs to finish strong. Good ball by Jack Ray. Pressure shot here, the 7-pin, all by its lonesome. No wood. Right on it. Good clutch shot by Jack Ray.
That's exactly what makes him the great bowler he is, Dick. He's got so much experience in big matches, 70 times on television, and his level of performance exceeds probably normal performance when he's under pressure like this.
Working on a spare. Needs a big fill right here. And he's going to get one. He's going to get 9. And Wood out in front of the 9-pin.
Well, that's got potential for disaster, but I think he's going to cover it.
Got it. 2 marks in a row for Jack Ray.
This match got interesting in a hurry, didn't it, here in the 3rd string? Jack Ray went 6 boxes without a mark, and Mike Cuccia had 3 in his first 6, including 2 in a row right now. 5.
Working on a strike, though. Got another ball to fill the strike.
Mike won the New Hampshire men's team event in New Hampshire's state tournament back in 2003. 2003 through 2004 season, his team won the Friday Night Pro League. The 7 fill on the strike. Mixed doubles, open and handicap champion with Lynn Thompson this past year here in New Hampshire. So he's been very active in New Hampshire state events.
$9. Well, he's going to need a mark to hold on to that lead. Back and forth we go. Good first ball.
That is one skinny pin when the pressure is this high.
Right on it. Good shot by Mike Cuccia. So here's where things stand. Cuccia has a 2-pin lead. Both bowlers are working on spares with 2 boxes remaining. It's just that close.
Phil is everything here.
Jack Ray on the spare, right on the head pin. Oh, look at that wood. The wood is not in a good position. He's trying to worry it out of there. And it settles in a terrible spot. Not a good break. for Jack Ray. There are a couple of ways to do this. Cap the wood and hope it bounces off the wall. Hit the wood and hope the ball bounces off the wall and takes the pin. It's the ball.
Bonus money.
Yep.
For Jack Ray.
$50 in bonus money for Jack Ray right there. Great shot, too. The ball off the wall took the pin. And another good first ball. He'll put 8 in the mark. And has a mess to shoot at. He's got the 410. The 4 and the 10 with a piece of wood way out front. I think you have to play the left part of the wood with the ball. Michael, hope the ball takes the 4 and the pin takes the 10. No, he's not going that way. He went right at the 4 pin. So he's at 122. And it is a 122 for Jack Ray. All right, let's do the math. 34 pins. He's going to need a mark. He's going to need a good fill and a mark. Good fill here is key. Whether he'll need 1 mark or 2 marks, the good fill is key. It's an 8-pin fill, which is pretty good. Important shot here. Very makeable spare for Mike Cuccia. Missed it.
Well, you know, he needed at least 1 mark, Dick, as you mentioned, and that should have been the mark.
Still going to need a mark. So he takes a 10 box there.
Well, he needs 17 pins to win, which is a spare 7 or, you know, whatever you want to combine it into.
Had the shot right there, didn't he?
Yep.
Spare 7, spare 6 to tie, spare 7 to win. And Mike has an experience with a tie.
That's true. With Gary Santora.
Strike!
And he gets a gentlemanly round of applause from Jackie Ray, who now is in big trouble because he's got to get 7 pins in two balls.
7 pins to win in 2 balls. How's that for a clutch strike coming off the spare miss? Wow. Mike Cuccia with this ball, well, puts it right through the middle.
So he's at 370. He needs 4.
3 to tie, 4 to win. 7 wins the match.
Yeah, that's it.
Mike Cuccia has won the match. Just that close. Mike Cuccia wins the final. A 2-pin victory from Mike Cuccia over Jackie Ray. A final score of 375 to 373. Wow, what a finish. We'll come back to talk to our bowlers right after this on WNDS TV's Candlepin Stars and Strikes. In the interest of time, we're going right to the bonus ball contest. Mike Moran will reach into the bin. We'll pull out a card. It belongs to Regina Brunel of Manchester. And Mike, she wants you to get an 8. See if you can get an 8 for $30 in the bonus ball jackpot for our contestant Regina Brunel. And he got an 8 plus 2. It's a strike. And unfortunately not a winner. A consolation prize from N&R Trophies in Winchendon, Massachusetts. So it was Mike Cuccia 375 over Jack Ray 373. Up the ladder we go.
And top seed Jeff Surratt, Tournament of Champions third place finisher, joins us next week.
For Mike Moran and our entire crew, I'm Dick Lutz. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. And remember, let's go bowling. So long, everybody.